All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, hopefully the music's not too loud. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some more coffee real quick. Okay. Just kind of getting everyone welcome in. I know this will be viewed later, but kind of turn it down a little bit. Oh, too low, huh? Okay. So earlier this morning we went over pretty much being able to create literal values for 5 basic data types. So our string, integer, boolean, float, double. What else are we missing? Oh, character. So character literals as well. So character literals 1, string is 2, integers is 3, booleans is 4, and floating point values are 5. So we went over doing that, and the difference between those. We also went over class and method, right? We now know that console, when we write our console.writeLine, our console command is not a command, it's a class, our console class, and then our write is a method. This is our write method, and then we can write something in there and run it, and the output is hello. Oh, I didn't mean to change my... Okay, anyway. So let's go ahead and continue forward. So we did the first page, second page. We were on the third page talking about what variables are, right? We were able to put integer, n is some number equals, let's do 29, and then we have an int of half. We're going to divide whatever number by 2 to give us half, and then when we console dot... Oh no, is it on the seat? Oh my god. I'm sorry. So we can call half, right? So then 29 divided by 2 gives us 14. But in actuality, it should be 14 and a half, right? So we'll put double. Run it. So 14.5. Alright, so now we know that there's rules. I mean, now that we know that we can declare a variable and give data inside of it, there's naming conventions, okay? So for variables, we can't give a variable a capital letter. It's case sensitive. I mean, you can if you'd like to, like especially for like a constant. I think const is. Let me just double check. Const double. And we do like in like that, right? Oh, so then we do in divided by 2. It should still work. It's just now, if we wanted to change that down the line, we couldn't do in equals 28, right? Couldn't do that because the left-hand side of the assignment must be a variable, property, or indexer. Oh, sorry. Okay. The variable in is assigned, but its value is never used. So a local variable or function in is already defined in the scope. Okay. So we can't change that, right? But if it was double in, when we came down here later on, we want to change into 28. Oh, and we gotta fix this, right? And we want to use that again, so we can do half. Should be able to use that. Sec. Only assignment call increment decrement. Wait. Okay. In equals f. That should work. I think. We're about to find out. That's it. Dot right line. F or n. Oops. So why is it giving us 14.5 for both outputs? So we did in, or is there? Okay, so we're gonna find out then. So variable names can contain alphanumeric characters before we go too far and lose our mind, right? The whole point of programming is to just learn. That's what I want this to be about, it's just learning. We're gonna learn about all of this stuff. And even if we don't know, because I don't know everything, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know everything, but we're gonna learn together. Okay, so a software developer once famously said, the hardest part of software development is naming things. Yep. Variable names can contain alphanumeric characters and the underscore is a character. Such a character, like the hash symbol, also known as the number symbol or pound symbol, or dollar symbol, are not allowed, so we can't use hash or dollar. Variable names must begin with an alphanumerical character or an underscore, not a number, so we can't begin a variable with a number. Variable names must not be a C# keyword. For example, you cannot use the following variable declarations: decimal, decimal, or string, string. So we can't name like a string, string, decimal, decimal. There are coding conventions that help keep variables readable and easy to identify. As you develop larger applications, these coding conventions can help you keep track of variables among other texts. Here's some coding conventions for variables. Variable names should use camel case. So, like for this one, we can do so we can do divide half, right? Divide half. Now, okay, so let's change that. Just do n equals 28. We should be able to call it. Actually, let's do this. Let's do like 12, just to see if there's really a difference. Sorry, I really want to see why I'm wrong. Console dot right line. half. Oh yeah, it's right. It's divide half now. So we did a naming convention, right? We did camel case. Camel case is the first word is lowercase, and the second word is capitalized of the first letter. Ah, so this is not working the way I wanted it to. Would I have to call it again? Equals n divided by 2. I do have to call it again. Okay, so the only reason it didn't work is because I did not call. And so like the way the program works, it goes like almost like this is like a stack of statements, right? Well, I mean it is. It goes in whatever comes first, right? It just goes in order. So I'll start here with the double n 29, n equals 29, and then it'll go double divide half equals n divided by 2, and then we write it out, and then we're going to replace it. So I guess what I could have done is just so we can see what we have, right? So let's do console dot write line, and we'll put n, and we'll do the same thing. And I know I forgot to put a semicolon, so we'll add those, and just to see if there's a difference, right? So when we run this, now it tells us, so double this, the first n was 29, and then when we changed it to 12, and then that is what allowed us, we had to recall the divide half again to call the new number represented for n. Alright, if the music's too loud, let me turn that down a little bit. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, so there's some other rules. Variable names should begin with a numerical letter. Developers use the underscores for special purpose, so try to not use that for now. Variable names should be descriptive and meaningful in your app. Use a name for your variable that represents the kind of data it will hold. Variable names should be one or more entire words appended together. Don't use contractions or abbreviations, because the name of the variable and thereof its purpose may be unclear to others who are reading your code. Variable names shouldn't include the data type of the variable. You might see some advice to use a style like string value. That advice is no longer current. Okay, so for example, string first name follows all of the rules for the conventions. So pretty much just don't try to confuse yourself by putting something like string value or like some int, or I don't know how to put it. Just try to name it something unique to what you're trying to use it for. Here's a few examples of variable declarations using data types you learned about thus far. So car user option, so character that the user is going to press, right? So he's either going to put in a Y for yes, he or she will either put a Y for yes or N for no. Int game score, that can be like, you know, somewhere in the UI where it shows the game score, particular decimal particles per million. So that's like, for me, I know like that's what the oil field. So you have a program that that reads the air quality for SO2, and then you get a parts per million increase. So you know there'd probably be an application that runs and tests and see if how many parts per million are in the area. Bool process customer, so that would be something like if they were processed, their transaction was complete, it'll print true or false if the transaction was declined or the cashier declined the sale. Okay. So I know I'm over talking about a lot of things, but I really wanted to go into depth on like the variables and how we use them, and we can learn, like, this is a whole learning process, so we're gonna learn together as well. Okay, so exercise. Now we're gonna do setting and getting values from variables. So we're going to be working with variables, and we're going to clear everything that we just wrote in here. Right, and we're going to enter the following code. Oh, sorry, I'm so used to, so this would be like calling the string class, right? We don't want to do that. We want to just create a type of string, first name, if I can spell, first name equals Bob, or template. Right, you can put whatever you want in there. It doesn't even have to be first name. It could be like dog, right? And we can put a type of dog in here. So we can put a German Shepherd, right? What does it say? Dog is assigned, but its value is never used. Yes, it is. It's in there. Okay. Oh, I guess because we never call it, right? So, okay, sorry, let's get to the assignment. So to declare a variable, you enter the data type that you want to use, followed by the name for the variable. To use value, to assign a value to a variable, use the assignment operator. The assignment operator is equal symbol right here. Assigning a value is also referred to as setting the variable, or simply set operation. So this is setting the variable. In Java, we call it instantiating, right? Oh, my kitty cat's throwing up. Oh no. Hold on. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. 19 minutes, return back. Okay. So, where were we at? So we went ahead and area left hand side of the assignment must be property indexer. Oh, we were going to do improperly assign a variable. So we can't assign it backwards. Like we can't put what we want to assign. It's pretty much what this is showing right here. Sorry, I should probably be highlighting all this, right? So this is pretty much showing we don't want to write our code backwards. This is writing it backwards. We must first, so we declare, and then we assign, right? But we can't assign backwards. We can't assign a string Bob to a variable name first name. We have to assign, well, I guess we can, right? But it just can't be in this order. There's an order to it. And it tells us why. So the left-hand side of the assignment must be a variable, property, or indexer. This is the variable. This is not a variable. So we can improperly assign a variable to the incorrect, or value to the incorrect data type. So we can't assign, we can't assign a string to an integer, right? That's what this is saying right here. Like we put string number, right? And we called number, and we do 1, 2, 3. Right? That's invalid. We cannot do that. Cannot implicitly convert type int. And I think what we could do, I don't know how this works in no? Cannot convert type into string. Gotcha. Anyway, I mean, just putting a set of parentheses around it would work. I was just saying how that, if that was going to work at all. But yeah, we can just do this, and it'll fix our error for us, right? So now there's no type implicity error going on here. We can retrieve a value stored in the variable, which we already kind of went over. So right now we have a string of 1, 2, 3 of some number, and we can console.write line, and we can put number, and then it's going to print how we already kind of done before. It's going to print out that output to print out our string of numbers to the output console. Alright, let's reassign the value of a variable. So we can reassign values, which is something we kind of already went over as well. So how we went from, so we got that, right? And now we want to do number equals hello world. And then we can add a semicolon to that, and then we can console.write line again, number, and run it, and it'll change to hello world. So you can reassign a value as long as it's not a constant, because once this becomes a constant number, const, right? Now a field requires a value to be provided. So you can't just do it off the rip. Now we have to do equals 1, 2, 3, right? But it's still not going to work because now must be a variable, property, or indexer. So it's already set to a value and we cannot change it. Let's go back. Okay. Oops. Don't want to do that. Alright, so now we know that, and then we know about initializing. So initializing is pretty much, so this isn't initialize, this is just declaring a variable. This is also declaring a variable. And then initializing it is when we actually do output, I believe. So you must set a variable to a value before you can get it get the value from the variable. Otherwise you'll see an error. What is this song? So we initialize, so modify the block you wrote, right? String first name. We can't, oh, sorry. So I had that right. So this is initializing. I was just thinking maybe C# was like, damn, is C# that different than Java? Guess not. Okay. So this is initializing. Once we give it a value, that's initializing it. I was looking at this example a little bit wrong here. It's showing that string first name isn't assigned any value yet. So when we try to call it, it's not instantiated, so there's no value to it. But once we instantiate it with a value, then we can call it. Okay, sorry about the mix-up. Declare implicitly typed local variables. The C# compiler works behind the scenes to assist you as you write your code. You can infer your variable's data type by its initialized value. It's in this unit you'll learn about this feature called implicitly typed local variables. That's this section right here. What are implicitly typed local variables? An implicitly typed local variable is created by using the var keyword followed by a variable initialization. For example, var message equals. So this is an implicitly typed local variable. To do that, we use that by calling the var, or using the var keyword. So in that sense, we don't have to I guess that was the answer to our solution when I was trying to write string in front of the from an int to try to make it go to a string, and it didn't work. So in this instance, right, we have a instead of setting it to a certain specific data type already, we can do it to an implicit data type, which will change it on its own, how it's going to show us here. So message equals hello world, and then we can change message to 123, and then we can console.log. Oh, sorry, we got to, that's what we got to do. Okay, int, that should work, integer, int, how it works? How does it work? Show me. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I was wrong. Because the variable message is immediately set to string, the value understands that the intent and treats every instance of message as an instance of the type string. In fact, message variable is typed to be string and can never be changed, for example. So once we set the type within the instantiation, it stays as that type and cannot be changed. So other programming languages use the var keyword differently. In C#, variables are assigned to a type by the compiler regardless of whether you use the actual data type name or allow the compiler to imply the data type. In other words, the type is locked, so the var keyword keeps it locked. Variables using the var keyword must be initialized, so we must initialize it. So if we don't initialize it, then it's not usable code. They must be initialized. So implicitly typed variables must be initialized. So we don't have to explicitly give it a type, how we were doing, right? So like string, for example, we can say var number equals 12, right? That should work. And then when we console write line number, that should be able to work. And then if we also do a variable of address equals 1234 Sesame Street. When we run that, oh, forgot to call it. Now we can run that, and it'll be 1234 Sesame Street. So var implicitly gets what data type it is from the initialization. Next. So now we got a challenge. Challenge: display literal and variable values. Select the code in the editor and delete it. Throw the following values in variables. Okay, so we'll have a variable of name, right? Call him Bob. We'll have a variable name messages. 3. We'll also have a variable named temperature, or temp for short, and it'll be 34.4. Right, and we aren't going to. We could do that, right? And it'll let us know that that's a type. Can we check the type? Let's see. Let's look it up. How to check type in console C#. Both type of get type. Okay, so if we do right line get type type of temp. That should work, right? Variable name is assigned but it's never used, yada yada. Temp is a variable but is used like a type. So we do type of temp. What does that do? So what if I gave it int or float? Would that work? No. If 23 integer decimal, I just want to type t equals type of console.readline type t.name. Okay, so we won't try that. That's gonna be too advanced. Okay, I'm just thinking way too far ahead. So now in the output we got to do a console.writeLine, and we're gonna put this out here. So we're gonna do hello name plus you have messages in your inbox. The temperature is temp 34. Oh, is Celsius. Celsior. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and kind of what you can do. So like, I believe I'm correct. As long, it doesn't matter about spacing. I think as long as it just has a statement. So this should work. Right? I mean, as long as the statement is closed with a semicolon. So if we write this, if we go ahead and hit enter or run, hello Bob, you have 3 messages in your inbox and the temperature is 34.4 degrees Celsius. So pretty simple. So like, again, let's review over that, right? We created a variable named Bob, and it's an implicitly it's implicit type, and it types, the type of it is a string, right? Variable messages is an integer, and variable temp is a floating point value, as we denoted with the f, with the suffix. Now let's go ahead and check out this way. So review solution. Oh, I guess I could have done it like that, right? It didn't say to use only write. Oh, it did. Okay, well, let's fix that. Dot write. Okay, and let's just go ahead and do this. I don't know how many I'm gonna need, but we'll do that. So we'll do hello name. You have messages in your 3 messages in your inbox. The temperature is temp Celsius. Okay. So now I keep hitting Control S like I'm in an editor. So hello, Bob. You have 3 messages in your inbox. The temperature is 34.4 Celsius. And let me add a period just to make it complete. Okay, so now we did it according to the console.write. So now you saw both ways that you can do that. So we're going to do a knowledge check. So which of the following variable names should or must be avoided? So remember, we don't want to start with a hash symbol or a money symbol. So definitely that one. This follows the camel case rule, and this also follows the rule because it starts with alphanumerical character. So that one's the incorrect way to create a variable. What is the problem with this line of code? var message. The var message. So variables must be initialized. Implicit, just vars, your implicitly typed variables must be initialized. So use of var keyword without initializing the variable is the correct answer. Var isn't a data type. It is a data type. It's an implicit data type. It's an implicit type. A variable name message should always be a string. Not exactly, because we don't have. Could be a number. Be like an error, right? An error number. So var, the keyword without initializing the variable. Sorry. Which of the following is the output of console.write line 34.40m? It's going to be 34.40 because we put m is for decimal, so it's going to count that 0. Now, if it was regardless, it should count the 0 unless it's decimal. Excuse me. I was going to say we could try it out, but excuse me. Sorry about that. Which of the following lines of code creates a variable correctly? Int x equals 12.3m, so there's a spacing there. But yeah, we can in plus. I guess it's not a spacing, but so integer cannot have a decimal point, right? Integer is an integer value; it's a whole number. Decimal uses the m, right? So 12.3m decimal, and boolean x equals false. Well, that's a string. Trying to set that to a boolean value, we cannot do that. It's the wrong data type. So it looks like decimal x equals 12.3m is the correct answer. So correct. Check our answers, and boom. Okay. So pretty much our goal is to just understand using basic syntax in C#, learning about literal values, and the different data types that we are able to use in C#. Excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick restroom break, so I'm gonna pause here. We'll come back to the stream in just a moment, so just bear with me. Alright, see you guys in a little bit. Thank you guys for tuning in. I also want to say, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Follow me on X, follow me here, follow me on Twitch. No, it's pretty cheesy to shout yourself out, but you know, I gotta do it. I'm trying to make something here. I'm trying to do something for myself and others that want to improve their life. And my way of doing that is by showcasing, well, not showcasing. My way of trying to do that is by teaching. I know I'm not really fully teaching. To be fair, I'm just reading through the information, but I am reading through it and explaining it in hopefully different ways that people might be able to pick up better than just reading the material outright and trying to go through it. I mean, to each their own. Everyone learns in a different way, and I respect that. So, but those of you that have stayed tuned and are interested in this, thank you so much again for watching. It's greatly appreciated. And if you would really just like to help the channel out, just please subscribe and follow, and we'll start doing this, man. Just show the support and love, and then let me know that I'm doing the right thing. So, all right, that's the end of my spiel. I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. Thank you.